Hello, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. My name is Mark Roden, and in today's video, we're going to be going over the top 15 best cars that you could buy for less than $3,000 in 2026. This is part 3 of our 1 to 100K series that we've been doing, where we're going to be doing top 15 cars for every price range: 1K, 2K, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 15, 20, 25, 50, and then even $100,000. And in all of these videos across this entire series, all 15 cars in every single one of the videos are going to be different from each other. There might be some cases where we use like the same chassis, like for example, maybe we'll use the Camaro RS in one video, and then another video we'll recommend the Camaro SS, but they're going to be all different cars. Never once will there be any duplicates across all these videos. We did this a long time ago, a couple years ago, but obviously the markets have changed quite a bit since then, so now we're doing an updated version of it, and I've been having a pretty good time. We did obviously the 1K and the 2K. Now today we are going to be doing the top 15 best cars for less than $3,000 that are, well, for car guys, obviously cars that are cool while also being slightly reliable and fun to drive and stuff like that. You get the idea. Media of the day is Green Mile. Absolute banger, man. Absolute banger. Another banger movie. We've recommended 3 banger movies back to back to back: Shawshank Redemption, 12 Angry Men, now it's Green Mile. If you haven't seen any of those movies, you have yourself the best lineup of movies to watch. Go watch Green Mile if you haven't already. Incredible movie. Kind of sad, but really good. Really worth watching. Without further ado, let's go right into the video of the top 15 best cars under $3,000 in 2026. Coming in at the number 15 spot takes me back to my glory days of playing Need for Speed Underground 1. The Nissan Sentra SER B15. You can find these. Nobody likes SER Sentras for God knows whatever reason, even though they're pretty, in my opinion, cool cars. And again, they take me back. They're nostalgic cars, man. They take me back to my childhood. They come with a 2-liter inline 4, making 145 horsepower, and it is front-wheel drive. We are still, unfortunately, in this series at that price range, where yes, even under $3,000 in 2026, they are going to have higher mileage. Every one of the cars on today's list are going to have higher mileage, unfortunately, and they might have some rust here and there or some problems, and they're still not going to be the fastest cars out there. I mean, it's only making 145 horsepower. There's nothing really that crazy. The motor isn't great for building power either, but they are cool-looking little sedans that are going to be reliable. They're going to get the job done. You can drive them to and from. Great gas mileage. They're nice. I like the B15 Sentras, man. Coming in at 14th place is probably, like, in my opinion at least, the coolest car on today's list. I'm not gonna lie to you. Maybe not. Maybe there's one more that I do like a little bit more than this, but it's also one of the most unreliable cars on today's list, unfortunately. The BMW 328i E46. E46s are already pretty unreliable, even when they're like low mileage and well kept, let alone one that's going to be under $3,000. It's going to have higher mileage and not going to be as well maintained. They come with a 2.8-liter inline 6, making 193 horsepower, and they are rear-wheel drive. One of the only rear-wheel drive cars you're finding under $3,000, which is a bonus, obviously. You can have a lot of fun with that. And E46s, in my opinion, look incredible. They handle really well. They're very fun cars to own. My buddy Ben has had them his entire life, pretty much, and they're freaking awesome cars. But again, in front of $3,000, an E46 is just a little bit too sketchy to put it anywhere higher than 14th. And coming in at 13th place, looks really nice. Looks very nice, actually. I really like how these cars look, but they just have some problems. The Toyota Celica GT 7th generation. Everyone hates on the 7th gen Celicas, which I don't really get why. I think it's just because they didn't come out with the GT4 for the 7th gen, so people are like, oh, it's not as good. But no, it's still really good. It's still just either way, the car comes with a 1.8-liter inline 4, making 140 horsepower, and they are front-wheel drive. They are a little heavy. They're unlike the B15 Sentra. Actually, the B15 Sentra is a little bit lighter than these. So the 140 horsepower, unfortunately, isn't that great, and it's not going to really, oh my god, really be that good for building power either. As well as this car does tend to have a little bit of transmission issues. And the motor is reliable as hell. It's a Toyota motor, but the transmission does tend to have some problems with it, unfortunately. So it's not maybe the best car for building power out there, but it is one of the coolest cars on today's list in terms of looks alone. Coming in at 12th place is like the complete opposite of that, though. It's not really that cool looking, but it's one of the most reliable, best options, smartest options on today's list. The Honda Fit 1st generation. Yeah, plain and simple, these cars are reliable as hell. They get the job done. They're obviously hatchbacks, so they're very practical as well, with a ton of space in the back for you to put all your fishing gear, if that's what you're trying to do, I guess. The car comes with a 1.5-liter inline 4, making 109 horsepower, and it is front-wheel drive. They're not the fastest cars out there. Plain and simple. I mean, 109 horsepower in a hatchback, not that great. They are pretty light, so, you know, that's at least something, and they are a Honda, so they're going to be reliable as hell, and they can build some power pretty reliably as well. But, yeah, I mean, there's no denying the fact that the Honda Fit is not the coolest car on today's list, but in terms of just straight-up, like, smart decision, practical as hell, reliable as hell, good idea, I think the Honda Fit is one of the smartest. Coming in at the number 11 spot, barely missing out on the top 10 here, ladies and gentlemen, is a car that I feel like I never recommend on my lists. That's why I like this series. It forces me to fine cars that are under like price ranges that I usually don't talk about, because 11th place is the Subaru Baja. The Subaru Baja, my dad has had one of these before, man, and it was a fun little truck. I don't know what you would call it. Thing comes with a 2.5 liter flat 4, making 165 horsepower, and it is all-wheel drive. That's the exact same motor they were putting in the Foresters, the Imprezas, the Outbacks. It's the 2.5. It's the Subaru motor. So it's decently reliable is what I'm trying to say, as long as you don't try to turbo it, and as long as it doesn't have insane amounts of miles on it. They're all-wheel drive, which is awesome. A lot of the cars under $3 grand are going to be front-wheel drive. These are all-wheel drive, and obviously they are a truck-car hybrid. So you got the truck bed tiny little thing that you can put some things in. While they also are very unique and weird looking cars, they're definitely an acquired taste, don't get me wrong, but I think they look pretty nice. Coming in at 10th place just does look very nice. Like, I don't even see how you could disagree with that. 10th place is going to be going to the Mitsubishi Eclipse GT 3G. Now, y'all boys already know how much I love the 2G Eclipses. I think the 2G Eclipses are one of the coolest JDM cars out there, one of the most underrated JDM cars out there as well. The GSX 2G Eclipses are just such cool cars, but the 3G is also a very good car. It's just not as good as the 2G GSX. The car comes with a 3-liter V6, making 200 horsepower on the dot, and it is front-wheel drive. That's pretty, actually, decent horsepower numbers for a under $3,000 car. And again, I think they look really, really nice. The 3G Eclipses do, in my opinion, look great. They are front-wheel drive, and unfortunately the 3-liter V6 isn't as good as building power as the GSX, and that's kind of why people didn't really care for the 3Gs, is they dropped the 4G63, and so they weren't great for building power anymore. But they are still really cool cars. If you don't plan on making 800 horsepower, then the 3G Eclipse is still a perfectly fine car. And coming in at 9th place, another one of these cars that kind of just went under the radar because they weren't the best for building power, the Hyundai Tiburon GT. The Hyundai Tiburon, okay, so there's a facelift Tiburon and then a pre-facelift Tiburon. The pre-facelift Tiburon is, in my opinion, I think that's the better looking one. I can never remember which one's which. I'm sorry, but the one you're seeing on screen right now is the one that I think looks a whole lot better. They come with a 2.7 liter V6, making 172 horsepower, and they are front-wheel drive. And pretty much everything I said about the 3G Eclipse applies to this car, as a matter of fact. They're very, very similar. And I just like the Hyundai Tiburon's looks ever so slightly better. Again, another Need for Speed Underground car, actually. But yeah, I can't remember exactly. Whichever one you're seeing on the screen is the one I like better, but the other one is, in my opinion, a little bit ugly, so I would stay away from that one. And coming in at 8th place, you gotta make the truck boys happy, man. And honestly, it is, if you're an American, for under $3 grand, trucks are, well, they're not even under $3 grand, just trucks are just a smart idea. The Dodge Ram 1500 second generation is going to be coming in at 8th place. I've heard a couple of complaints about the transmissions on these trucks, but I've also heard that about literally every single truck ever made. I'm not going to lie, so I don't know what to take about that. The truck comes with a 5.2 liter V8, making 230 horsepower, and they are 4x4s. Not the most amount of horsepower, obviously, for a truck, because they're heavy as hell, but that's not what I don't think that's what you're really trying to look for when you're buying a Ram 1500. And I love the looks of the second gens, if that's of any constellation. I think they look really, really nice. And obviously at the end of the day, they're a truck, so they have the truck bed. They're going to be decently reliable. They're going to get the job done. You could use this thing for years to come, as long as you get one with lower mileage and not that much rust. And coming in at 7th place, I don't think these cars are ever going to be above $3,000, the Volvo 240. The Volvo 240 is one of those cars where no matter how much praise it gets, because it gets a lot of praise in the car community, it still just stays under $3 grand, like all the time. It just doesn't really rise in price. I think that's because it kind of does look a little bit boring, but if you can get over the looks of it, it's an awesome car. The car comes with a 2.3 liter inline 4, making 114 horsepower, and it is rear wheel drive. Now the horsepower number is definitely not impressive, and the motor's not great at building power either, but the motor is very, very reliable, and the car itself is just a freaking tank. While being rear wheel drive, you're going to have a lot of fun in these things. Now, unfortunately, for under $3 grand, the Volvo 240 you're going to find is probably going to have like almost 300,000 miles on it. Keep that in mind. But as long as you can stay away from rust, it'll be fine. The rust is the only thing that's going to kill a Volvo 240. And coming in at 6th place, I feel like, dude, they're just perfect. They truly are. They're just perfect. The Toyota Tacoma first generation. The first gen Tacomas, man, I love them. I love any Tacoma, if I'm being honest. First, second, third, fourth. I think they're even on to the 5th now. My buddy Patrick just got one. Shout out Patrick. He just got a Tacoma, and they're freaking, they're nice cars. The first gen comes with a 4 liter V6, making 190 horsepower, and they are, of course, 4x4 since they are a truck. They're smaller, obviously, than the Ram that we were talking about earlier, with only 40 horsepower less, which is not that bad for the weight difference that you get here. On top of that, they're obviously a whole lot better on gas, a whole lot more reliable because they're a Toyota, and they still have that truck bed. Is the truck bed as big as the Ram? Can it tow as much as the Ram? No. But do you really need that? If you do, then yeah, I would stay with the Ram. But if you don't, then just get the Tacoma, man. I think the Tacoma is just a better option. I would love to own a Tacoma one day. You know what I'd really love to own, actually, is a 4Runner. I don't know why. I like the 4Runners, though. Coming in at 5th place, This is what I mean. The under 3K range is fun to talk about because you finally get to talk about some like actual sports cars that are going to be fun. Because 5th place is going to be going to the Volkswagen GTI Mark IV. First ever GTI on one of these. I think this is probably the cheapest GTI you can find. I mean, I'm sure you can find other ones, but a decent one is probably going to be this one. The car comes with a 1.8 liter turbocharged inline 4, making 170 horsepower, and it is front wheel drive. Obviously that 1.8T can make a whole lot more horsepower if you want it to, while also being very, very reliable. Now the problem is, once they do have problems, which isn't that common, but if they do have a problem, it's not the most fun car to work on today's list. It is just a small inline 4, but it's a German inline 4, so it's not the most fun out there. But they look good, they handle good, they have a good motor for building power, it's pretty reliable. Under $3,000, they are going to have higher mileage, and it's going to be a little bit sketchy for sure, but that's really the only downside to them. And they're not fun to work on. Coming in at 4th place is pretty much the Baja, but honestly better. The Subaru Forester SG. On the 1K video, we recommended the SF Forester, and now today in the 3K video, we're recommending the SG Forester. Why? Because the SG Forester is just better in every way than the SF, so it's a little bit more expensive, but it's also, in my opinion, worth it. They pretty much come with the exact same motor. They're pretty much the exact same car, really. They come with a 2.5 liter flat 4, making 165 horsepower, and it is all-wheel drive. However, the SG is obviously a whole lot more modern. It has a whole lot more modern interior, and it's easier to find these in good condition than the SF. I like the SGs a little bit better, but they are, again, very similar cars. They're a big hatchback. They got plenty of space in them. They're going to be reliable as hell. For under $3,000, it's really hard, in my opinion, to beat SG Foresters. They do still obviously have head gasket issues, just like every other Subaru does, but that's really the only downside to them, honestly, man. And I guess they're not good for like building power if that's what you're looking for, but I don't think you're looking for that with a Forester. And coming in at 3rd place, the bronze medal, the 3rd best car you could buy for less than $3,000 in the big 2.6 is going to be going to the Honda Accord 7th generation. We talked about the Honda Fit, and you guys are probably like, what, only one Honda under 3K? You fool! You buffoon, even! Obviously, there's going to be more than one Honda under $3,000. They're just incredible cars. The 7th gen Accord comes with a 2.4 liter inline 4, making 166 horsepower, and they are front wheel drive. They also do come with a V6, and you could potentially find the V6s under 3K. It's going to be a lot harder though, and I wouldn't recommend it. I would just stick with the inline 4. The inline 4 is also an incredible motor. It's a K series, man. Like, it's not a bad motor at all. It's a great motor. It's reliable as hell. Going to be good at building power. The only, honestly, literally the only downside I could think of with the 7th gen Accords is, well, there's kind of two. One, why not just buy the Civic? And because it's just lighter. And 2, it's not the biggest looker. The 7th gen Accord is definitely not the best looking generation of the Accord out there. I don't think it looks bad, but it definitely isn't like beautiful. Coming in at 2nd place, remember how earlier when we were talking about the BMW E46 and I was like, this is probably the most fun, coolest car on today's list. Oh, and then I was like, oh, wait a minute, there might be one more that actually I think is a little bit cooler. Well, it's this car. 2nd place is going to be going to the Lexus GS300. The GS300s, man, I want one. Now, I'm not going to sit here and act like they're not just worse versions of the IS300. That's exactly what they are. But they're still pretty cool. They come with a 3 liter inline 6, making 225 horsepower, and they are rear-wheel drive. That is obviously the 2JZ GE. And the only... So, the GS300 is an awesome car. 2JZ, 200 plus horsepower, rear-wheel drive for under $3,000. Luxurious as hell. Looks good. You can't beat it. Like, that's such a good combo, right? Well, there's only 2 slight downsides to them. They're heavy as hell because they are a luxury car, and they only came with an automatic transmission. It does kind of suck. People have manual swapped these before, but I wouldn't like recommend that or say it's easy or anything. It's obviously not going to be easy at all. It's going to be a nightmare. But they're just they could have been a whole lot more fun, and that is kind of the IS franchise. That's the reason why they're under 3K, but they are still an awesome car. But first place, the gold medal, the obvious, in my opinion, best car for less than $3,000 in the big 2.6 is easily the Acura TL 3rd gen. Y'all already knew. Y'all already knew it was coming. You're watching a Mark Roden video. Gosh darn, you're watching a Mark Roden cheap cars video. I love the Acura TL 3rd gens. I recommend them all the time. I think they're one of the best cars out there for the price that they are. They come with a 3.2 liter V6, making 258 horsepower, and they are front wheel drive. Literally, what is there to not like about this car for under $3,000? They have plenty of space because they are saying they don't have the most space because they're not like a hatchback or a wagon, but they have plenty of space. You're fine on the space. They're practical as hell because they are a Honda, so they're going to be reliable. They make 258 horsepower from factory, so that's easily the highest number on today's list besides, no, actually I think that's, yeah, that is, I was going to say besides the Ram, but no, the Ram only made 230, so that's the highest horsepower number on today's list. It's very high horsepower. Yes, they're front wheel drive, but honestly, who really cares? They look incredible, they're comfortable. There's literally no downside to the Acura TL 3rd gen, so it's one of the most underrated, underappreciated cars in the car community today, and because of that, you can find them under 3K all day long. But, ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of today's video on the top 15 best cars you can find for less than $3,000 in the big 2.6. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel for more content just like this. Let me know what videos I see in the comment section down below. Check the links in the description for any of my other social medias or any of my other YouTube channels when I have that great mumbo jumbo. And thank you guys so much for watching tomorrow's video. Sorry, I was paying attention to my computer right there. Tomorrow's video is going to be ranking, or no, not ranking. It's going to be how to build the perfect C5 Corvette. That's what it is. Yeah, the perfect C5 Corvette is going to be tomorrow's video. And then after that, we will be probably doing the, well, actually, after that, it's going to be the under 4K video. Although tomorrow, yeah, okay, sorry, I'm all over the place. I'm trying to make sure that, so yeah, tomorrow's video on Thursday is going to be how to build the perfect C5 Corvette. And then on Friday's video, it's going to be the under $4,000 video, the top 15 cars under 4K video will be coming live on Friday. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is the plan going forward. I'm loving this series. You guys seem to be enjoying it as well. And I love the how to build series. You guys seem to be enjoying that as well. So right now we're having a blast on the Mark Roden channel. I hope you guys are enjoying too. The comeback is on, baby. The comeback is on. I do really want to eventually get another project car and start building it up on the channel. But first, I got to buy a reliable daily first, like a nice newer daily that's lower mileage and stuff like that that I can own for the next like 20 years of my life. That's my next plan. And then after that, I do want to actually move out finally, I know. And so I got to buy a house too. So that's my plan after that. But then after those two things, then I can finally buy a project car and have a little bit of fun. And so hopefully that'll happen at least within the next year, I'm hoping. So yeah. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it. Das Vidania, and have a nice night.